So today's agenda basically is first to know about the SQL basics, understanding the background, what led to the CDS views. We will also look into working with the ABAP development tool, that is ADT. We will create our first CDS view, and there are many CDS related tools which we would be analyzing, and we would be seeing how it can be used. Okay. Basically, before starting with the CDS, let us go with the background of it. So let's start with the SQL basics. When it comes to accessing a database management system from within an application programming, the structured query language, that is SQL, has established itself as a kind of first choice, right? So SQL is nothing but structured query language. So why I am using this thing is basically we would be using this terminologies throughout the course. So it is very important to understand what this SQL is, what are its sub languages. So structure query language as a whole covers all kind of tasks that might be relevant for an application programming. It is broadly classified into three sub languages. First one is DML. The second one is DDL, and the third one is DCL. So now what are these? The first one, DML, is nothing but data manipulation language. Okay, so it provides statements for reading and changing the content of database tables and comprises of statements like select, insert, update, and delete. Okay, so the DML part, that is the data manipulation language, basically it provides statements for reading and modifying the contents of database table, right? These are the statements which we generally use. Then comes the DDL part. So DDL is nothing but data definition language. So it provides statements for creating database objects like tables and views and to maintain its properties. Correct? So statements like create table, create view, alter table, and alter drop table. So these statements are part of my DDL language, sub language. And then comes the DCL part, that is data control language. So majorly it covers the aspects of data integrity and security. So it allows the application to define the authorization rules and to bundle DML statements into transactions, which we all know, like logical unit of work. Example of DCL is grant and revoke. So basically the SQL is classified into three sub languages: DML, DDL, DCL. Now each has its own purpose. We would be using these terminologies like DML, DDL, DCL sources throughout our course in context to CDS views. Now coming to ABAP's classical approach to SQL. Okay, so when it comes to ABAP's approach, it has a very classical approach towards the SQL. In principle, only the DML part of SQL is available to an ABAP program at runtime. As most of you might be aware that in ABAP we use OpenSQL. So OpenSQL, the SQL variant that is built into the ABAP language, it only covers the DML part of my SQL. Okay, then comes the DDL part. So I mean, as an ABAP developers, we are not supposed to issue these create table, create view, alter table, and drop table statements directly. So we have ABAP dictionary tool, which is a form-based editor for creating the tables and views. Okay, so the DDL part in ABAP is covered by form-based editor, which is nothing but data dictionary tool, which helps us in creating these at the database levels. So on the activation of my any of these dictionary object, it issues statement of create table and create table at the database level. Coming to the DCL part of standard SQL, so generally it is not needed in ABAP. In the classical approach of ABAP, all the tasks which are covered by this DCL is supposed to be taken care at application server. So we generally use we use authority checks, logs, NQ, DQ all at the application layer. So application layer is supposed to take care of my DCL part. Now if this is clear, just a minute, let me check data control language.
I have a question there.
Yeah,
when
when
you say application level, is it controlled by at the application tier, or is it still put in the database as
no, it is same like we write the data centric logic in the application, right, in our programs. So in programs you have to explicitly write authority check object, right, for filtering any data. For the authority checks at, let's say, plant level, or let's say company code level, we do generally write the corresponding authority check objects. So what are these? These are the DCL statements, and we need to explicitly write at the application layer. Also, as you know that we create the MQ and DQ function modules. Okay, so in the program itself, when we are trying to modify a particular table, we explicitly write MQ and DQ before doing any modifications. So these MQ and DQ are nothing but your DCL part of statements, right? So basically, so the purpose is that how these three are connected to ABAP. This like we are trying to explore. Okay. So if this part is clear, now comes that there were prior to 7.4. So prior to 7.4 NetWeaver, OpenSQL had lot of limitations, right? So OpenSQL not only restrict itself to the DML part of SQL, there are so many features of SQL which are missing from OpenSQL. So for example, prior to 7.4 NetWeaver version, there were no unions, there were no union alls, there were limited join types, and there were like no expressions used in the select query, and so on. Okay, so what was the reason for these restrictions? So primarily there were two important reasons. Number one, that all of you might be aware that OpenSQL is a database independent SQL. So that means that not only regarding the syntax, but more importantly regarding the results, it should be same across all the databases it is used upon. So for example, if I use Oracle as a database or I use HANA as a database, the OpenSQL should work in the exact same way, right? So the easiest way to do this was to avoid many features of the standard SQL which might have altered the outcome of my OpenSQL in different databases. That was the one reason. The second reason was that we were always told prior to 7.4 that keep the unnecessary load away from database. That means you bring the data from database to the application layer, you do all the processing in the application layer, and application layer had to take care of, I mean, all these data centric logic part. Correct. So even if those features were present in OpenSQL at that time, still the developers would not have used it because of the recommendation provided by SAP to keep the unnecessary load away from database. So these two reasons, so these two reasons had led to a lot of limitations in my OpenSQL features. Okay, now coming to my ABAP dictionary views. We had the ABAP dictionary views also, right? So in that case, the gap between the ABAP and the standard SQL used to be even bigger. So there were so many limitations in the SQL, I mean the data dictionary views due to the same reason. Okay, This all changed with HANA, S7.4 SAP HANA. Then the programming paradigm itself got changed. So earlier, from data to code, it became code to data paradigm, right? So SAP HANA is not just a database, it combines the latest developments in hardware and software technology to provide state-of-the-art in-memory database. So what happened, that it led to the change in the programming paradigm as well as in the traditional application design. So what my basic approach of classical ABAP programming was, that keep the data away from database, keep the load away from database, get all the data you need on the application server and do your processing in ABAP. This all changed. Okay, so let me just go to the architecture and how it got evolved. You all will be just a minute, able to understand it enough. So as you all know, we had 3 layers: presentation server, application server, and database. So this was the classical architecture of our SAP. We had relatively small and dumb database. We had a big application server and again a small and relatively simple presentation server. So database used to do only work of database, and application server used to handle your UI application logic, your service logic, and your data centric logic. And the presentation server was used for UI rendering. Okay. Now, what happened was, the new application design inspired by SAP's HANA's improved capability, what it does is that it transfers part of my logic known as the data-centric logic to my database. So from here, it went to here. Okay. On the other hand, the big part of the logic called as UI application logic moved from the application server into my smart clients. So this UI application logic, this also went from here to my smart clients. And application server was left with only a small part of service logic. Now, going forward, it is now even possible to implement the remaining of my service layer or service logic into SAP HANA itself. Okay, so this approach is used by SAP HANA Extended Services, that is XS. So with the dawn of SAP HANA and the possibility to develop applications directly on the database, not using an application server anymore, there was a need to create a meta model repository directly on the database. Correct? So I am repeating again that with the dawn of SAP HANA and the possibility to develop all entire applications at the database that we call as the native HANA applications, there was a need to create a meta model repository directly on the database. As with ABAP dictionary on the application server, there should be more in the box for you than using native SQLs like create table or create view. Okay, so there was a need to enrich pure technical definitions with semantics, and thus came core data services. So the technical definition which is provided by SAP, what this core data services is basically that core data services are collection of domain specific languages and services for defining and consuming semantically rich data models. Now what does this mean? Basically it is a group of languages like DDL, query language, and DCL, and this is used for what doing? It is used for defining and consuming semantically rich data models. Now what does this data models mean? Data models are nothing but your views, your tables. Okay, so this came the HANA CDS views. Okay, so talking broadly, CDS views are of two types. One is HANA CDS views and other is ABAP CDS views. What I was talking that with HANA as my database, with HANA coming of HANA and the possibility of creating native applications directly on the database. So this required to create a meta model repository directly on the database, and thus this HANA CDS views came into picture. There is also another aspect of CDS views which is known as ABAP CDS views. Okay, so we will look into it. We will also look at what is the difference between that. First, let us just talk about HANA CDS views, which we have currently talked about. So among these languages is an enhanced data definition language for defining the semantically rich tables views and user defined types in the database. Coming to ABAP core data services. Okay, so there are two parts, HANA CDS view. Our concentration would be on ABAP CDS views and not on the HANA CDS views, but it is important to know the differences between HANA CDS views and ABAP CDS views. Okay, so that's why I explained you about the HANA CDS view. Now coming to ABAP CDS views. So from the beginning, CDS was not just designed for SAP HANA alone. So also the ABAP application server should have the benefit from the enhanced capabilities that are offered by the DDL of CDS compared to the form-based dictionary tool. So what does this mean? This means that the ABAP applications, okay, should benefit from my CDS views enhanced capabilities, and thus came ABAP CDS views. Okay, how they are created, what is ABAP, what is DDL source and everything we will be covering in detail. But if I want to compare between my HANA CDS views and ABAP CDS views, let me just show you. So HANA CDS views are meant for native HANA applications. ABAP CDS views on the other hand are meant for ABAP applications. Since HANA CDS views basically are meant for HANA applications, the language which they use is native HANA language, wherein the ABAP CDS basically it uses the OpenSQL like language. It is not exactly OpenSQL, it is OpenSQL like language, which is, so this is basically database dependent, whereas the ABAP CDS views, they are database independent.
So there's a question here, like you're comparing OpenSQL against native HANA as a language itself. You mean say there's a language, which means there's a native HANA language, yeah?
Correct. So what I am trying to differentiate is that, sir, there are two things. One is HANA CDS views and second is my ABAP CDS views, right? We would be concentrating on ABAP CDS views, but you should know that there are two terminologies, there are two different flavors of the same CDS concept. One is meant for HANA applications, the second is one meant for ABAP applications. Okay, the first one uses the native language since it is meant for native HANA applications, and thus it is database dependent also, whereas the ABAP CDS views, the code which we would be doing would be based, it would be based on OpenSQL like language. So as I told you that CDS is a part of three languages, that is DDL, QL and DCL. So it makes use of all these three languages, and I will show you how. So it uses the queried language it uses the DDL component of the SQL, and also we have DCL sources for implicit access control, which we will be looking further.
Can you please repeat the full forms of DDL, QL, and DCL, please?
Okay, yeah. So DDL is data definition language, QL is your queried language, and DCL is your data control language. So this only we discussed about.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can you please type the definitions? I joined in the middle. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Okay. No issue. So DDL is data language. This is language, and DCL is data control language. Okay. Is it fine?
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Can you just elaborate a little bit on this native HANA application? Like, if I am not wrong, this native HANA application, you are actually trying to say this the HANA modeling part.
No. Yeah, it is part of. So basically, see, that's what I was going to say. So the HANA CDS views, they basically reside at your database level, whereas the ABAP CDS view reside at your application server layer. The purpose of HANA CDS views is to create data models from scratch. Create data models from scratch for their application. Whereas ABAP CDS views, we already have data models, we just define and consume the data models. We enrich them with the semantics like annotations. So this is, like, broadly speaking, difference between HANA CDS views and ABAP CDS views. They are meant for native applications that are, native to HANA, whereas the ABAP CDS views are meant for your ABAP applications. That means it can be consumed by your OpenSQL, it can be consumed by your OData services, and so on. Okay. So here in ABAP CDS views, we do not create any data models from scratch. We define and consume data models, we enrich them. Whereas the purpose of HANA CDS view is create data models from scratch. So this HANA CDS views reside in your database.
Okay.
So see, basically our concentration or the scope for this training would be entirely ABAP CDS views, but you should know that what is the difference between these two, what are the purpose between these two, and there exists a term which is known as HANA CDS views.
So may I know the exact if you can just tell us that the exact use of HANA CDS views, like in which kind of a scenario HANA CDS views can be used by anyone, like.
If you are developing not just if you are developing any native HANA application, then you would require to use HANA CDS.
Okay.
So there is basically, for example, creating data models itself means that you would be creating tables, you would be creating data entities at the database directly using this HANA CDS views. That's it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Can we say that HANA CDS views can be only used if the database is HANA?
Exactly. So as I earlier said, that this is database dependent. That means it will only work on the HANA database, whereas ABAP CDS views, it will work on all the databases which are supported by SAP. Okay. So it is database independent. Sure.
Shall we write that point?
Yeah, you can write. Let me also do all data.
CDS base will work on
basis supported by SAP.
No.
Thank you so much.
Only. So till now, I think everything is clear, right?
Excuse me, I have a
So
question.
does it, yeah, okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, tell me.
So as you are saying that for ABAP CDS views, it is defining and consuming the data model at the application layer.
Yes, correct.
So the data models will, whatever data models will be available at the application layer, will define accordingly and consume it.
No, see. So see, first of all, what is data model? It is nothing but your tables and views.
Views and tables, yeah.
Correct. They are
Yeah.
already existing tables and existing views.
Yeah.
Available. So what we do is basically we create CDS view on top of the existing tables which are available as a part of data dictionary. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And we enrich them by using many features which are available in CDS. Like we will be using annotations, we will be using associations and everything.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Right. And we will explore everything in detail. But this is just an overview of both this ABAP CDS view and HANA CDS view. And what was the reason why it basically came into picture?
Okay, I have one question here.
Yeah, tell me.
If someone is certified in Oracle SQL, so from the development perspective, how it is beneficial for him? ABAP CDS view, how he can get the benefit?
If you know the SQL, if you know any SQL, it would be beneficial because then you would be able to relate it very much. Also, in the later part of the time, we would be covering the CDS table functions, which make use of AMDP table functions, which is nothing but it is a native SQL only. Okay, so it is really beneficial. Plus, over the course of time, we would be looking in detail about the syntax which are used in ABAP CDS views and all the features, all the built-in functions and everything you can do in CDS views, we will explore it. So by the time, even if you are at the ground level, definitely you will be having a good
because there are so many things in the SQL like union, intersection, and projection. There are so many associations.
So you would be able to relate it. Yes, you will be able to relate it also. So now unions have come into the CDS views, everything. So my request is that it is a 5-day course, and gradually we will be moving so that even if someone who doesn't have even a single iota of knowledge about CDS view will at the end will have very good knowledge about it. Okay, so that is the purpose, and everyone should understand. See, our basically expectation, or you can say our purpose, is that all the concepts of CDS views are explained in detail and are understood in detail by everyone, so that tell me.
Sorry, just one simple question. As an ABAP developer, is not really common to work with HANA CDS views, right?
Right. Basically, it is not in, generally in scope of ABAP developer to work with HANA CDS views. That's why we have just introduced it, and we won't be going into the deeper part. It is just an brief overview for ABAP developer. This is ABAP CDS view is the only scope,
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. So basically, you may say, it's part of the analytics HANA CDS view.
Exactly. So HANA CDS view are part of that analytics. Correct.
Okay.
So it is more to do with the BI team,
BI people, yeah.
Yeah. From the ABAPer's point of view, ABAP CDS view is our topic.
Right.
Okay, I got a question. Real quick question. So at ABAP CDS views are database independent. So I just want to understand how the data process happens and how the data is given back into presentation layer.
This everything we will be covering in detail. This is just the starting. Today we are just starting, and we are just giving an introduction of ABAP CDS view. So everything will be we will be covering, and at the end of our entire training, if still you have this question, then definitely I'll again explain in detail. Okay. So let's okay. And we have kept 10 to 15 minutes at the end for purely question and answers. So I would try my 200% to cover all your queries and questions after the session. Okay. So let us again come back to our this ABAP CDS view. So now coming to purely on ABAP CDS views, there are various salient features of ABAP CDS views which makes it unique also and powerful also. So what are those salient features? The first thing which we discussed, it is database in the front end. So this CDS ABAP works with all the databases which are supported by SAP. The second thing is advanced CDS view. So CDS views provide much more SQL features as compared to classical dictionary views. We will see how, but it is basically it has this advanced view building capabilities. The third point is annotations. This we will be covering throughout our sessions because this is very important aspect of CDS views. So quickly I'll just explain that annotations add semantic information to my CDS view and its elements. Okay, so it also adds semantic information for consumers like OData, UI5, which we will be covering in detail. The fourth is implicit authority check. So CDS view has provision to define implicit authority check. That means that when an OpenSQL tries to consume a CDS view which has defined implicit authority check, then automatically the authority rules which are defined, they are checked for that particular CDS view. There is no need to explicitly now write authority check object if you are using CDS views. We will cover this in detail also. Then comes associations. Sorry,
could you
associations.
The authority check please again?
Yeah, sure. So in CDS, basically we have the provision to create and define the authority rules in my a repository which I will explain in detail, which is known as the data control language repository, DCL repository. So once you define the authorization rules for a particular CDS there, so when any OpenSQL tries to access that CDS view, the implicit authority check will happen. So you don't have to explicitly write authority check object for this particular, let's say, plant and all those things. Then there is no need to write them. Okay. So we will explain and explore in detail about this implicit authority check. Then comes associations. The associations are also very important part of associations are also very important part. We will also understand what associations are, how they work. As of now, you just need to know that they define the relations between CDS objects that will be translated into joins. So for example, there are two source tables, there are two tables which are basically associated in a join. So associations define the relationship between those two objects. At the database level, it is purely join, but it adds many things which we will explore. And
is it similar to associations in OData?
I would say it is similar. It is very much similar to your any inner join, left outer join. So basically it is join at the database level, but what happens is that it brings the visibility in the relationship between the two data sources. So we will explore that in detail. Also, there is a concept of exposed associations which we will explore in detail, wherein you can say the right benefit of associations come there at exposed associations. So everything in detail we will cover. Okay. Then comes CDS table functions. So these are the salient features which makes ABAP CDS very unique, very powerful. And we will definitely explore everything in detail. I'm just giving today an overview so that those who even don't know what is CDS are able to grasp it. So yeah, again I will once again reiterate between HANA CDS and ABAP CDS, and then maybe we can move ahead. So HANA CDS is located on the SAP HANA database directly and is meant to support the development of SAP HANA native applications. It makes use of features which are unique to SAP HANA. That means it is database dependent and works only with SAP HANA. As far as ABAP CDS, they are located on the application server ABAP, where it is fully integrated in the ABAP dictionary and thus in the ABAP transport system, lifecycle management, etc. So the goal of ABAP CDS is to support the implementation of ABAP applications which are independent of database system, or you can say for all the database systems which are supported by SAP. Therefore, if you draw a conclusion, so its initial focus is on view building. I'm talking about ABAP CDS, and not on building models from scratch. Although this might become possible in future, but as of now, we are only limited to view building. Okay. Now, there are two CDS repositories which have been introduced by SAP in terms of my ABAP CDS views. So CDS related repository.
I mean, there's one small question here. This is from version 7.4. Is there any service pack level? Is there any or specific where it's
correct?
came?
I mean, I am talking about SAP NetWeaver 7.4. Yeah.
Okay, so 7.4 SP00.
SP5. SP5.
SP5. Okay.
Yeah. SP05. Yeah.
I have
okay,
one
coming
question
back
here.
Yeah. Tell me.
In which scenario can we go for ABAP CDS view and HANA CDS view? I mean, you have differentiated between them, but in what really scenario we can go for? I mean, how we will decide whether we have to go for ABAP? I mean, database is a different thing. Apart from that, what are the other criteria?
Yeah, so basically, suppose you have ABAP applications. For example, you need to consume a CDS view from your normal SAP ABAP program, right? That is using OpenSQL. You will use ABAP CDS view. If you want to consume it in OData services, for example, we have a third-party application which would be consuming your OData services, so you can use CDS views directly. ABAP CDS views directly, I mean, can be consumed by OData, which we will be looking. Thirdly, in Fiori also. So, for example, in Fiori applications, you want to use, CDS views, then the ABAP CDS views would be you would be going for. Okay. Now coming to the HANA extended services. I mean, that is altogether a different topic. But when you are using SAP HANA extended services, which are meant for native applications, at that time you would be using HANA CDS views. So that is that would be taken care by the BI team generally, if you in any of the projects. So our scope is that if you want to use open program, or you want to use OData, or you want to use Fiori applications in all these scenarios, or also if you want to use IDA, which is integrated data access, which we will be covering. Okay, so you can directly use your ABAP CDS views there. Okay, so who all can consume CDS views, how it can be consumed, we'll cover in detail at the later part of our training. Today is just an introduction.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is it fine? Okay, let us move ahead. So we have two types of CDS related repositories. First one is your DDL source. What does this DDL source do? It basically contains the definition of either a CDS view or CDS table function. So it contains definition of CDS views or CDS table functions. Okay. Now we have another kind of repositories which is known as DCL source. See, we are using these terminologies again and again, and we would be using it throughout our session and training. So that's why I explained you the purpose and what this DCL, DDL all means. Okay, so now you would be able to relate in a better way that okay, it is a DDL source. That means it will look into the aspect of my data definition language, that is the creation of views or related to my database objects. DCL source, that is data control language source, it will look into my authority related scenarios and objects. Okay, so data control, it contains the definition of authorization rules that are automatically checked when a program accesses a certain CDS view or a CDS table function. This we have already discussed. So let me write it again. Definition of authorization rules that will be automatically checked when an OpenSQL will access a CDS view. Right. So till now, I mean, we have covered the theoretical part, and we have explored on what is ABAP CDS, what is HANA CDS, what are the repositories which are new to CDS, and now let us go to our ADT, that is Eclipse based editor, and explore it before creating our first CDS view. Okay. So I hope that each and every one of you have installed Eclipse. If not, please do that, because we would be doing all our hands-on training on Eclipse. So, can you please mute? Hello. Can you please mute? Thanks. Okay. So see, this is how the Eclipse basically looks like. Okay. Now Eclipse is a one-stop station for many types of developments like Java development, ABAP development, HANA modeling, and so on. Okay. So Eclipse have provided us with perspectives. Sorry. So click on window, click on perspective, and click on open perspective other. So these are the perspectives which basically Eclipse has provided us in order to do our corresponding usage. Okay, for example, if you are working on ABAP, you would be required to use ABAP perspective. If you are doing HANA modeling, you would be required to use HANA modeler perspective, and so on. So you just select on ABAP perspective and click on open. So it will open this particular perspective. You can also open perspective by clicking on this button also. This is a shortcut. Okay. So now once you have opened the perspective, these are my basically views. Outline view, project explorer view, this is my feature explorer, and so on. Okay. You can also adjust its size and everything. Ashwini, you need to add the ABAP development tools to your Eclipse, and then only you would be able to view the ABAP perspective. In the link which we have given, we have shown how to do that. If still you are not able to do, we will help you out after the session. Okay, so these are my views, and each and every view has its own purpose, which we will look in detail. You can change the size of these views based on your comfort level, based on your requirement. Now suppose if you have changed it and you want to reset it, just click on reset perspective here. So once you reset perspective, it will come back to its original form, right? Then comes the part to add a new ABAP project. So click on file, go to new and click on ABAP project. So now it will show you list of all the systems which are available. In our case, this is the demo server. You select the demo server, you click here on next. It will ask you for the system ID, application server, instance number, these details it will ask for. You just enter as you have been provided. Then it will ask for you client, user and password. Just enter your password and just click on next. Now it will ask you for your favorite package. So click on add. If you have created any packages, it will show you. Select the one which you would be using, click OK and click on finish. So that system will be added here, and you would be able to see your package inside this favorite packages, and you can navigate to all the objects under this package. See, code, data services, dictionary views, your programs, classes, everything. So Eclipse also gives you a feature to simultaneously work on multiple systems at the same time. Okay, now if you want to remove this system from Project Explorer and not to delete it, just removing it, so just click on delete and click on OK. Don't select this checkbox. Okay, yep, so we are done. Now we have added our backend system also, we have opened our ABAP perspective also, and then you can directly start creating your CDS views. Also, it is very important to know a few shortcuts. For example, if you want to search for any object, be it program name, class name, T-code names, data definition, data or CDS view, SQL view, anything, you click on Control Shift A. Okay, it will give you a pop-up, and when you type anything, it will give you list of all the objects. You can try it right now simultaneously along with me. This is very useful shortcut, and please learn it by heart. Control Shift A. From here also you can directly navigate to any of the object. Okay, also Eclipse has given you provision to go to your SAP GUI directly. How? This is the button. So you click on this open GUI button, it will ask you for project name, just by default it will come. Click on OK, and yep, your SAP GUI screen has opened. You can adjust this based on your requirement. Now if I go to SE11, I can go to SE11. If I want to go to SE24, I can go to SE24. So I can navigate to SAP GUI login also. Now we will explore.
How to come
Sorry?
to SAP GUI? How to come to SAP GUI?
This is the button. This is the button. Open SAP GUI. Here it is the button. Also there is a shortcut Ctrl+6. So when you click here, it will ask you for a pop-up. So just click on OK.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, ABAP CDS is only will run. We can execute, or we can create or execute in HANA database, or else other database also we can able to create ABAP CDS views.
As I told you, it will work fine on all the databases which are supported by SAP, since it is database independent. ABAP CDS views. Okay. Also, yeah. Also, see, this is the editor wherein we would be creating our CDS view and writing our logic. Okay. And all the screens if you open, tabs would be created and you can navigate between the tabs. One more very good feature of Eclipse is that you can open n number of sessions. There is no limitation like SAP Logon GUI, which restricts number of sessions to 6 at a time. Okay, so here you can open any sessions of any systems you are working with. Now we will gradually we will also learn all the features available in Eclipse tool, which would be handy to us. Okay, now before creating a CDS view, there is very important concept regarding the CDS view. So please, for next 5 or 10 minutes, listen very carefully, and if you have any doubt, please do ask. There shouldn't be any confusion to anyone. So a CDS view is defined in a DDL source, which is a new type of repository object. There is no editor for DDL sources in the classical ABAP workbench. That's why we have to create DDL source in my ADT Eclipse. Okay, so upon the activation of a DDL source, two objects are created. First one is the SQL view and the second one is CDS view. So first step towards the creation of ABAP CDS view basically is to create a DDL source. When you activate this DDL source, what does this DDL source do? It will hold the definition of my CDS view. So at the time of activation, there will be two objects, or you can say entities, which will get created. The first one is my SQL view and the second one is my CDS view. This is very important. Okay. At the time of activation of my DDL source, I will show you in the screen. There are two entities which gets created. So the SQL view, this one, the SQL view is visible as an object in the ABAP dictionary where it cannot be edited and only reveals a fraction of the information available in the DDL source. So it is used for representative of the database object. Whereas this CDS view, it carries more semantics than the SQL view. It is not created on the database. It is not visible in the ABAP dictionary. However, you can consume it via OpenSQL. But to access this via OpenSQL, you would require 7.40 SP5 NetWeaver version to access the CDS view. Is this clear? This is very important.
Yes.
So,
can you repeat
that again?
Yeah, sure. See, at the time of the activation of DDL source, I will show you in the screen also, I will reiterate. There are two objects which will create. The first one is my SQL view. Okay, and the second one is my CDS view entity. So this SQL view is visible in my SE11 data dictionary. This will be created in database. It will be a real database object and it will be part of dictionary. However, the CDS view entity will not be created in database, will not be visible in my SE11 or data dictionary, but from OpenSQL you can access this. And this is my actual CDS view, which will hold all the semantics, which will hold all the information of a CDS view. This is meant for only representational purpose.
Hi, I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
Does the CDS view entity have version control like the dictionary object? Or if not, how would you, is there such a thing related to it?
Yeah, so we will cover that in later part, and I'll show you that also. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So basically, see what happens. Yeah, just a minute.
Okay.
So basically, what happens is that since they reside in the our application server and they are part of our transport cycle also. So definitely the way our dictionary views have the version capabilities, similarly this will have, right? Because we would be adding it will get added to the transport system to be moved further to my other systems. Okay, but what will move? This will move ahead. However, it is related to this one also, and I will show you in detail how they are related and everything. But as of now, you need to, just understand that this is my SQL view. Let me do a comparative analysis. This is my CDS. SQL view is my repository object, and this is secondly, this represents real object. Is it fine now?
Just one question, please.
Yeah,
thanks.
You said DDL source is an object, right? You have to activate it.
It is a repository, yes.
DDL is the same as SQL view then? Well, DDL creates two objects, SQL view, CDS
exactly.
view.
See, so you can understand like that DDL source is basically kind of a container or a repository which will hold the definition of my this CDS view, this CDS view entity. Now SQL view is an entity which is gets created at my dictionary level. As a part, it becomes part of my dictionary, but these two entities are part of my this DDL source. And I will show you in system. You will be able to, very easily then relate and understand. Okay, this is just a theory, and immediately we will move into our hands-on part. But this was important to understand the concept behind my DDL source, SQL view, and CDS view, because we would be using these terminologies also very frequently going forward.
So DDL source is like the place where we create the CDS view?
Exactly.
It is like a SAT in our program or SAT?
Yeah, exactly. It is a new kind of repository. However, you can access that reports via SAT, but you cannot access DDL source from your SAT or SAP workbench,
So DDL source is the place where we create the CDS view, right?
Exactly, yeah. Okay. It holds the definition of my CDS view.
I've got a question.
Okay.
I've got a question.
Yep.
All right. So so I'm assuming that since you have two entities created from the DDL source when you activate it, you have the SQL view and you have your CDS view, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm assuming that you're going to have a name for the SQL view, which is different from the name from the CDS view. And
exactly.
Each of those names have to be unique in the database.
Exactly. So you cannot have the same name as SQL view and CDS view. This have to be different. So I will show you now in the system. Okay. Now let us go into the system, and now step by step explore all these things. Okay.
Sorry, can I ask one question here?
Yeah. Please.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Can you please elaborate on the last point? It talks about semantics and
so
what exactly
so basically what happens is that this SQL view is similar to your dictionary view, right? So it will be represented in your form based editor just like any other view or table. So it will only hold very limited amount of information, wherein this CDS view entity, here we will define our annotations, our associations, and we will, whatever these things we would be adding here. So it will be part of my CDS view, which would not be visible to my SQL view, in SE11. So I will show you exactly. I will show you exactly. So once we come to adding semantics means to add. I mean the semantics using annotations. For example, for a particular element, I can define a label. I can define quick info. You know, all these things. So that we will cover for sure, and you will then understand. I mean the exact difference. Yeah, tell me.
Actually, when we are creating CDS view, one CDS view entity will be created at the DDL level in Eclipse level, right? And SQL view will be created at SE11 level. So how we can do the navigation from there, because both are the two things are different. Right.
Very valid question, but I will show you everything today. And still, if you have doubt now, just ask me. That is very genuine and very valid question, but I will show you where exactly the linkage between these two entities are available. How do you navigate from one entity to another entity? How do you get to know that which is part of which and everything? Okay.
Okay. I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
So you are basically meaning that since SQL view is available in the workbench ABAP workbench layer, so that's why you are telling it represents a real database object?
Exactly, exactly.
And since it's the opposite for CDS view, that's why it is not known to the database.
True. Correct. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Hello, I just have a quick question regarding CDS views.
Yep.
You just said it is not known to the database. So is it made available to the database during runtime?
No. So what happens is that at runtime, what happens is that suppose you are using OpenSQL to consume this. So what it will do is that first it will look for the corresponding SQL view name. It will take that SQL view name and then pass it on to the database via this. Via that database. What do you call? So layer, and then it will fetch the data like that. So what happens? See.
So the CDS view, which essentially holds the functions.
Yeah. Suppose what happens? This is the OpenSQL view, and you are calling CDS view, correct? From OpenSQL. So what this will do, basically, that it will basically check for the corresponding SQL view, and then using that particular SQL view, it will hit my database to get the data like that. Okay.
So the processing essentially happens at the database level, right? You can say that.
Right. Yeah, because we are using at the end table only, right? See, we create a CDS view based on table or another CDS view, and where does this table reside? At the database. So at the end, we are fetching the data from database itself only, right?
Okay, but so what I've understood is the entire objective is to push the code down to the database so that the application layer is essentially freed from overhead processing. So when you are actually saying you're actually creating a CDS view which will hold the functions for the SQL view, and during processing, my question is that the functions or whatever the processing is written inside the CDS view, that will be executed at the database level, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So what I understood is like CDS view is at the database level, and its mirror image SQL view is in the ABAP repository, right?
No. So basically, see, SQL view is your you can say the real database object. So your SQL view is present in a dictionary level, whereas the CDS view is present in your DDL source repository, which is a new repository, right? So that is available in my repository, whereas SQL view resides in my dictionary.
Okay, so the CDS entity is not in the database level?
No. As I told you that CDS view is not known to database, and it is not even visible in the dictionary. So I will show you, each and everything. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So coming back.
Can you show how to create a package before you do this?
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. So right click here,
Can you also show how to add the transport? I'm new to SAP.
Okay, I'll do that also. Yeah. So basically, see what happens is that just like in your from SAP GUI, you can create a transport. Also, at the time while creating a DDL source, you can create a new TR. Both the ways I will show you. First, let me show you how to create a package.
I tried to do the same thing, the right click here. So that's the question, because I'm not getting all the options.
Yeah. See, what happens is that you click on this system, select new. Yeah. If you are not getting option here, click on other. And here you can just type in whatever you want and it will show up. So click on ABAP package.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a version here for the Eclipse that you're using here? Does it depend on the version?
No. I mean, there are new features always being added with the new version.
I think he has not added the ABAP development tool. He must not have.
No, yeah, that must be reason if you are not even seeing here in this pop-up also. If you are not able to see, then you need to add this ADT.
No, I get the ABAP project things here, but the only thing is the other options are not coming. Only the ABAP project is coming.
See, can you see? Just right click here. You click on new, and you go to this other controller.
New what? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then here just type package. So it will show you this ABAP package.
Okay, so the thing is, I'm correct. I'm getting only a Java package. Okay, so that's the thing I think. So I need to include ABAP development tools, huh?
Yeah, right.
I tried with the link which you have provided in the document, but it was not coming for me as well. I can see only the related things with the Java only.
Okay, so maybe so maybe what we will do is after the session, we will connect again and we will look into it.
Yep, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even I am facing such issue. I don't see any ABAP related.
So what my guess is that you might be missing on that ABAP development tools, to be added. So that we would be needed to add. So what happens is that in click install new software, go to help, install new software, and the URL which we have provided, just paste here and click on add.
Can you just ping that URL?
That is already been shared with you.
It's also in the chat history.
It's already
in the chat also it is there. Chat history also it is there.
Yeah. Okay. So from here, when you add it, automatically all these things will come.
What is a message server? I'm so sorry.
Sorry, where?
What is a message server? When we try to add a connection, like when we create a new project here, so it is asking for message server.
Wait, here? ABAP project?
Yeah.
So here,
one. Let's go to next. There is one message server. So yeah, here it is.
So no, it is disabled. It is not required.
It's not required. Okay. So
it should be disabled.
So like only after getting a project you can get a package, or you can get package separately.
Okay, I came till here, so I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, great.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to that ABAP package. I've already created the package yesterday through SAP GUI, but still in Eclipse edit it is asking me for creating a new package.
No, it shouldn't. You can use this. You can create it also, both.
But I should get my existing packages, no? Which
I think in the interest of time, probably if you could be able to continue with this session, and then probably later on we should be looking at all these technical questions.
True. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. So let us first focus on our training part, and as I told you, we will connect again if you have just clear all the concepts at first place. These all things can be done and dealt with later also. Okay. So as I told you, just click here, go to this ABAP package, enter the name of a package, and click on finish. Okay, then basically it will ask for a description, give some description. And click on OK. So it will ask for a transport. So if you have not created it, click on this create request button and just create one transport. If you have created it, you just click on own request, select the transport where you want to place this particular packet and click on OK and just save it. That's it. So now if I do Control Shift and A and just type ZSY underscore day, I will get my package. So just click on that package and click OK, and here just refresh the packages, packages, it will come. So if it will not come, you need to add it. So click here, add a package, just type in ZSY underscore day 3 package and click on OK. So it will be visible here. So once, see, if you are not able to create package also now, you can create directly into your this local object $tmp. This should also work. Okay, so guys, let us first create our first CDS view. Okay, so all the concentration should be here. Just right click on your package, click on new, select other ABAP repository object and click on data. You will get this particular folder core data services. It will have my 2 repositories which we talked about. First one is access control, that is the DCL source, and this one is DDL source, that is data definition. So select data definition, click on next. Okay, now it will ask for a CDS view, a data definition name. So as per your naming convention which we have provided, please use that. Hello? I need to start again?
Yeah, can you just show this step once again?
I think there is a screen lagging.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'll again show. Is it fine now?
Yeah.
We can see your transport. Actually.
Okay. So I think there is screen lag. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
At least
so
at my place the navigation is fine.
You come to this package. Okay. Now you right click on your package. It will open a pop-up. You select new and come to other ABAP report.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, we can't see anything.
It's just stuck on your screen.
Looks like your screen has got freezed up.
Hello.
I'm not able to see anything actually.
Yeah, same here. I think he might be rejoined.
Yeah. I think I tried to rejoin it.
Yeah, looks like.
Even the server connection for B has also been lost.
Can somebody tell me how to open a new perspective? How does it work?
Just go.
I can't hear you also.
Are you able to hear now?
Can anyone see the presentation?
Yes.
No, it's not. No, we can't.
We can hear you.
The person who asked me how to connect to ABAP perspective, just go to window and click on perspective.
Okay.
And there, if you don't find the perspective, then go to other perspective and then you just write ABAP.
Okay.
Got it.
Actually, you're not able
So
to
I can only hear the other participants. I can't see the presentation or hear the presenter.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if anyone else is the same. Yeah.
The presenter is
It's not there right now. Yeah, it's the same for all.
Yeah, don't worry.
Right,
Presenter is
okay.
not here right now. I think so he left because we couldn't see his screen, but then something else happened. Do you know how much time it takes to load the ABAP tools? I just started downloading it right now, and like I'm halfway through, but it's not.
So if you do not
Probably
have the
less than a
ABAP
minute.
perspective, then you need to install it.
No, I'm installing it right now, but you know how much time it takes to install?
Less than a minute.
Yeah, it depends on your net connection also.
Okay. It's taking, it's installing software right now, says 49%. So it's, okay.
Yeah, just make sure to okay the install because you'll get a prompt for the.
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Yeah, we can see your screen and we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically you click on this new and select this other ABAP repository object. Okay. In there, here you have this folder core data services. Select this folder core data services. Select this data definition and click on next.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Now, so currently here it is asking you to give the name of your DDL source. So as per the naming convention, can please everyone mute? Sorry, there is disturbance. Okay. So based on your naming conventions, which we have already shared it with you, you just try to create a DDL source. Give first. Okay, now select next. Oh, it already exists. Just a minute. Select on next. Now see here. Can you see? So basically, if there is a transport available, it will be visible here, or you can create a transport from here. So I am selecting this transport and will click on next. Now, if you see here, there are many templates which are available. So SAP provides you with various templates, okay, for creating view based on your requirement. We will explore like almost all the relevant ones, and for this purpose, you just select on define view and click on finish.
Okay, so this will create the SQL view, right? So that is what.
Wait, I'm showing you. Wait. So you are able to see the screen, right? So hello. Yeah. So we will go line by line. Everyone is with me, right? Okay. So this first line, this is annotation ABAP catalog.SQL view name. So generally annotations we will be covering in detail throughout our course, but as of now this particular annotation, which is ABAP catalog.SQL view name, is a mandatory annotation. What this does, it will create a SQL view at the dictionary. So let me show you ZSY_SQL_dem1. So I have given my SQL view name here. Can please everyone mute? It is a humble request. Please everyone mute. Yeah, thanks. So this is my SQL view name, and with this name an object will be created in SE11. Okay. As of now, let us not worry about these particular annotations. So I will add a comment. So click on source code and click add comment. So these will be commented out. If you want to use a shortcut, then shortcut is Control Shift and greater than sign, Control Shift less than sign. Okay, to comment and uncomment this particular thing.
Even Control 7 also works.
Sorry?
Control 7 also works.
Okay, good. Yeah. So this is my end user text label. So these all the annotations starting with end user text are my translatable text. Can please everyone mute? Humble request, because there is lot of noise coming.
Or you can mute everybody.
Yeah, can you please mute all of us?
Just see, I have already. Yeah. Okay. So all the annotations starting with end user text are translatable text. Okay. We will explain in detail. But as of now, so this is also not mandatory or not required. So this annotation will create my SQL view. Here now, the name which comes after define view statement is my CDS view name. As a part of recommendation by SAP, the DDL source, this is my DDL source, data definition. So DDL source name and the CDS view name should be same. Not it must be same, but it should be same. It is a recommendation from from SAP. Also, this view name and the SQL view name cannot be same. See, if I try to make it same, it will show me error. Just a minute. Can you see? SQL view name and DDL view name cannot be identical. It has clearly thrown an error. So what I will do, I will change it to SQL so that we can properly differentiate. Okay. So CDS view name I have given with underscore CDS, and my SQL view name I have given with underscore SQL. Now there are two ways of writing the CDS views. The first one is this way. Okay. For example, from this is my data source. Also, if you want auto completion, you select control and space. It will give you list of all the possible options. If you want to insert all the elements, just do control and enter. It will add automatically all the elements. So I have added these four basically elements as part of my CDS view, and this is the way I have written it. You check it and you activate it. See, it works. So okay, so we have created our first very simple CDS view. Now coming to, if you see this ZSY underscore CDS underscore dem1, this is the data definition. You can search here, and as a part of dictionary, if you see this ZSY underscore SQL underscore dem1, this has been created. Let me double click on it. So can you see the SQL view is now part of my dictionary, and it is now visible in SE11 also. This is my DDL SQL view name. Note, this only holds very limited information. This will hold my more information. It will also hold my annotations, associations, and all other things. Okay.
Can you just explain what's the difference between the define view name that you've given and the one which you created with data definitions, please?
See, data definition, we have created a repository. Okay, this object will hold this view name. With define view, I am creating the actual CDS view. Okay, and the corresponding SQL view I am giving here. So you can say that this particular repository which got created has this CDS view, and it will have correspondingly this SQL view name. Okay. So as I told you, two entities are created. The first one is this one. This is the actual view name, and the second one is my SQL view which got created as a part of my dictionary object.
Hello. Just one quick question on the SQL view and the CDS view. Is it always 1:1 relationship?
Always 1:1 relationship. Now let me show you one more table. Yeah, tell me. So we have this particular table which is known as
SQL view name and CDS view name.
Yeah.
What were you saying about that? Like,
what I was saying, that this CDS view name and this SQL view name cannot be same. If you try to keep it same, it will not allow you to activate only. It will throw an error. So these two names should not be same. However, the DDL source, that is this, and the CDS view, this both should have the same name. It is not must have, it should have.
So
this is the recommendation from SAP.
So the one that you created initially, right? You put a name initially.
That was my DDL source name. This one was my DDL source name. If you want to check the DDL source name for this particular CDS, it will be seen here at the top. See, data definition is ZSY_CDS_dem1. It is the same name as the CDS view name.
I have one question here.
Yeah, tell me.
So where we can find the relationship between these two views? I mean, where we can find one-to-one.
That's where I was taking everyone. Okay. So there is one table, this DDL dependency table. Okay. So in this DDL dependency table, here you just have to give the name of my data definition, ZSY_CDS_dem1. And if you execute now, here you will see two entries. Are you able to see? So this DDL source has two entities. One is this CDS and one is this SQL. Got it? So this is my dictionary name, this is my CDS name. And there is one-to-one relationship. So this DDL source, same DDL source has two entries. So here the relationship is defined.
Okay, this is based on the, on the repository level, but how you can find on the Eclipse? We are having different, we have to go into the every.
No, that I will show you. That also I will show you. I will show you. But as of now, yeah, please tell me.
I'm able to see my CDS view name and all, but how to see this dictionary and the view name in ADT?
Dictionary view here only in the dictionary. You just
actually under my package under CDS data.
You refresh it. You refresh it.
Okay, refresh it from is there any
package? You just refresh it. Just go here and click on refresh.
Okay,
and
got it.
Yeah.
How do I activate?
Sorry, I have a quick
question. How do I activate something?
Sorry.
If I create a new view, how do I activate it?
Okay, yeah. So first, this is the button, this blue button. So you check basically here. If everything is fine, then you activate it. This is the button.
What happens if you get a message everything is fine or
Yeah, here you see activation for ZS1 was successful. You got a message. See?
I can't see that message. Your screen is cutting off for me.
Okay, but you will get a message. You try to, at your end, you will see message.
Once I do
so you're telling.
Okay.
See,
and then
if let's say if I try to basically do some modification. Okay, let's see. Just a minute. Yeah, tell me what was your question.
So when I go to the view, the DDL SQL view is my the SE11 workbench view name, and the DDL source is my CDS view name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. See here, if suppose I write anything, so I have changed the code. So here you will see a star thing. Can you see this star? Can you see the star at the top here where my this mouse is?
Yeah.
So that itself means that this is not activated. Okay. And if there is any error now, so at the same time you will see that red button coming here. And if you just place your cursor on top of, it will show you, what is the error and all. Okay. So let me just check once again and just activate it. So now we have activated it. Okay.
Hello, just a quick question. I'm really sorry to, you might have covered already this part. How do you add all these fields? Is there a
So I showed you, again I am showing you. See, what you do, you place the cursor, then control and space. You click control and space. It will show you all the possible options. Now if you want to add all the elements, here you just click on shift and enter. You click shift plus enter. And if you want to add individual element, you just just double click on that element and that will be added.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we are good.
How do you open SAP?
Hi, sorry, I have a quick question.
Yeah, tell me.
Why do you not specify the key fields of the source dictionary source data, like from the table SCAR? Do you have to, or can you just leave it?
No, so the key definition is very important, and I will cover in the later part. So just a couple of minutes, and I will cover that also. Okay? In today's session only I will cover it, and that is also very important. And I want that everyone should understand what is the concept behind key. Okay?
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, tell me.
In this define view ZSY CDS dem1, so that is the
CDS view name.
That's a CDS view name.
Yeah.
So is that visible on the left hand side?
No, on the left hand side, what is visible is your DDL. So when you double click on DDL, it will automatically open this CDS view only. Okay.
Right. So this is, and in this thing on the top you have mentioned the SQL view name, which is
perfect.
So how the relationship between two is built in this code? Like what makes them
this annotation basically creates the relationship. Okay. So for this data definition, that's why we have used this annotation, you know. So this annotation will bring.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Can we say that this annotation is nothing but some inbuilt keyword?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
And what is semantics then here?
So semantics is this part. So suppose if I want to describe, if I want to give a heading name for this CDS view, I can do this. Now suppose, for example, I want to show user that what this field is. Char ID, it may not be useful for the user on the details of what is it. So what I will use, so there are two ways of writing annotation. First, it always starts with @ okay, and you can write for a particular element in two ways. So there are different types of annotation. This annotation is a view annotation which is applicable for entire view. Now we are writing annotation for a particular element, right? So let me just give an example. So let us say I want to write this label. Okay, so here I am writing this is my career ID. So here what I have given, it is just added the semantics part. So that means that I am giving an information that this field is a career ID field. It is similar to writing a comment. Also, let's say if I want to give one more, I want to give quick info.
We lost him.
Of doing that this I have placed the annotation for this element before the element. I can also do that after the element. So what is the syntax for adding an annotation after the element? You write @ then less sign, and then same annotation can be used.
So it's basically a comment.
It is a comment. It is a representation of the elements which you are defining. Correct? So here if I write also for example, I want to access this particular CDS view from, let's say, another system language. So these texts are my translatable text. So in other language they get translated. We will see exactly how they are translated and how they are used. We will see everything in detail. But as of now, these are translatable text also. Yeah.
So whatever this translatable text, that semantics that you are using for the end user text, so will it be displayed suppose when we will be using the CDS in SE11, will it be displayed in GUI at the application in the UI?
See, as I told you, semantics are not available to my dictionary level. So here if I define anything now, it will not be reflected, right? So this semantics is being held. So let's say, just a minute, let's say I have activated it.
Yeah.
So let me again come to my this. Can you see the carrier ID is still? Can you see the carrier ID is still airline code and not my carrier ID which I have given here? Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that means that this CDS holds the semantics.
Okay.
Okay, and this does not hold.
Okay.
So wait a minute. So you said that the label that you kind of put, it's only for the CDS view, it's not for the SQL view, right?
Yeah, correct.
Applications are only for the CDS view.
Correct.
There's nothing to do with
SQL.
So basically,
SQL view is only for a representational purpose. Even when you want to access these elements now, suppose you want to access or you want to know what is the text available for this carrier ID of this particular CDS view. When you are accessing it from my OpenSQL, there are classes which we will discuss in detail on how you can access these particular labels also, translatable text also. Okay, so that also can be done.
Okay,
just one.
So basically, if we want to provide any kind of property at the field level, that we do inside with the curly braces defined view, right? If suppose group by key,
yes,
field,
no,
all the things will be done here.
Yes, exactly. See, so where clause will be added here. Okay. See, where clause will be added here, where char ID, let's say, equal to LH. Okay, here this curly braces is only for your projection list. That is, it will list all your elements here. Okay, we will cover everything. We will go step by step. Okay, we will look into it. But as of now, is this part clear?
Yeah. Just one question here.
Yeah.
When we added this semantics to the CDS view, it's not changing the label. It's not changing the label in SQL view, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what's the point of adding that label if it is not changing? Like, is it?
No, basically, suppose there is some particular field. If you come to the CDS view, right? There is some particular field. By just looking at it, you will not get what this field is doing or what it is meant for. When you look at this label, it becomes very clear to you. Okay, this is carrier ID field. Okay, like that. This is just a semantics purpose. Yeah.
Just adding
also correct. Like just adding a text, or you can say comment. Correct. But it has advantages also. For example, you can translate it to any other language also. So if CDS is being, let's say, accessed from a German system, a German language system, or a system using a German language, then it will show these texts in the German language, not in English language.
And this will be displayed in the UI application if you use it correctly, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So the UI annotations we will cover in later part. But the purpose of this particular annotation, end user text, is clear, right? So this at view level, it just basically what it does, that it will give the definition. Okay, what is this? The purpose of this view? You can give here the definition, right? This is, you can say, the same way when you create a report and it asks for a description, what this report does. Similar to that.
So can we say that if you want to access a SQL view, or if you want to process some SQL view or anything from the data dictionary, you need to write a CDS view?
No, you can directly access, but what you want to access, I mean, see, generally, basically, you are writing this CDS view because you want to consume these particular fields of this table to from your OpenSQL or OData or any other this thing, right? Correct. If you do not want, then you can directly use table also. You can directly create a dictionary view directly without the help of CDS view also, right? Since it has so many features, as I told you, these are the salient features which are not available in my dictionary views. That's why there was need to create CDS views, right?
One quick question. So
please check whether recording is on or not. Please check recording on or not.
Just a minute. Yeah, recording is on. Don't worry.
One quick question. This edit where we are writing this.
Some background noise.
Yeah, can everyone please mute it except the one who is talking? Yeah, thanks.
So
yeah,
say for an example, this scar. This is a standard table which is saved in our database layer, right?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
now
so,
this edit, I am using this scar while creating my CDS.
Perfect. So let
me finish first. Let me finish.
Yeah,
so my question is, should I say like I am using here the code to data paradigm?
Yes.
Am I writing this code? Am I writing this code through edit in the database level of HANA?
Yes. So there are so many features we would be using, like built-in SQL functions. We would be using the calculations at my element level. So all this is a part of your code to data paradigm only. Correct.
So this edit, whatever I am writing inside this, using for this particular purpose. So we are writing at the database level only, not in the application layer.
We are writing at application level, but when it will be hit at the database level, it will do all the calculations at database level and then bring the data. It won't do like it will do the calculations at the application level after bringing the data from database. No.
Okay, so we are writing we are giving the command from this layer, but actually at the back end everything will be done at the database layer only.
Perfect. Exactly. Yes. So suppose if you want to navigate to this particular my source code now, just click on Control and click the left button. It will navigate you to the transparent table. Okay. So this is how you can navigate to this table also. Okay. So now.
Sorry.
There's one more question here. So currently we are using we are not using S4 system, right? We are actually using a 7. Lesser version. I mean lesser version. Right?
See, even if it is 7.4, this will remain same. So at that level, there is no change in the way we are creating a CDS. It remains same.
Okay, so. Yeah. So even if it is S4 system,
it will remain same. What happens is that in S4, the table names changes or table names are different. So accordingly, you need to specify the table name. But the way of writing, the way of execution, everything remains same, irrespective of S4 HANA or suite on HANA.
This is suite on HANA. So our system is on HANA.
Yeah, correct. So this is on HANA.
And one question.
So,
I have one question on the previous participant. So there is one query on the data that is getting retrieved on the application and then doing the calculation. Since you said this ABAP CDS view is independent of database, doesn't that work the same way as earlier? And why are we saying that the calculations are applied on the database and then the data is retrieved?
Because
I just need clarification.
Okay, so when I talk about the HANA database, at HANA database, when you do this thing, I mean, so suppose for example, I write here, just a minute. So your ABAP CDS views basically reside at the application layer only. What happens is the way it is executed. So it will follow the code to data paradigm. Suppose that I am doing some expressions here. I have added 2 into 15. Okay. So what I have done here, basically I have written an arithmetic operation here. Correct? So this expression, what is this? This is nothing but my calculations, right? So this calculations I am currently taking only literals, but at my real time scenarios I will be taking some amount field or discount field or any other field, right? Which is available at my database. So that calculations, that data centric calculations happens at database and the calculated value will come at my application layer. So you can say that it will work better with SAP HANA database rather than any other database.
Yeah, one question, a simple thing. You are using the existing table.
Yeah.
Can you create creating a new table is like rather than using select, we'll use the create. Am I correct?
No, but why you want to see? That's what I told you. If you want to create a table, you can create from SE11. For native HANA applications, you can create a table using define table statement using CDS. That comes as a part of HANA CDS views. So if you want to create a table from HANA CDS views, here you define table name and all the fields. But that is not as part of our scope. That is building of data models from scratch. Here we are defining or we are consuming the data models which are available to us.
Yeah, I got
Can
it.
we say that?
We are just using the existing.
Can we say that if you want to create a new database table, it has to be via HANA CDS views?
Correct. It is not possible in ABAP CDS views.
But if we are not dealing with HANA database,
then create from SE11 directly.
Okay. So
why? Because we have been using SE11 only to create all the tables and views.
Right. So I understood that. Now the question here is, in normal, non-HANA systems, we have SE38 as our ABAP editor, right?
Yeah.
And whatever we create, any report or something, it's all stored. They have an object name. But here in this case, CDS view doesn't have any object created at database level, right? So
no, but yeah, correct.
So that's the only difference between this and ABAP editor in normal.
Yeah. So there is a different repository for all the reports and all. Here they have introduced new repository which is known as DDL source repository. So that cannot be accessed via the workbench. It can only be accessed via Eclipse. And the definitions are stored here.
But where?
But at the end, see, these at the end would be stored at the database itself. You know. I mean, at the end, all the data is stored at the database itself, right?
But I'm talking about this code which we are saying right now at CDS view.
Yeah, correct. So this will be stored in the repository DDL source.
And one more question, like you told, right? We are not creating any table, but we are creating a view. So it is more like a projection view that we are creating using the existing database tables. Am I correct?
Yeah, kind of. Yes.
One more thing, you talked about that DDL dependency table. What was that?
Okay, so someone asked me that what is the link between this view and this SQL view? Where can I find out? Correct. So we have that table. Just a minute. I'll go to that table.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we have this DDL dependency table. Okay. So if you go to DDL name, so here you provide your DDL source name. Okay. And just execute. Can you see these two object names? So this is my CDS view name and this is my SQL view name. So for this particular DDL source, if I want to find out what is my CDS view and SQL view, it is maintained in this DDL dependency table.
Okay. And state and object type is STOB.
Yeah. So this for CDS it is STOB. For SQL it is normal view object type.
Okay, view. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
One question, please.
So in this case,
one question, just I understand that we're creating now CDS views, but what's its main purpose? I know from outside, from Fiori or from another applications, we can access a normal table, right? So why would we need?
No. So what happens is, suppose that if you want to use normal tables, right? Then from SEGW you need to create a project, then you need to define the entities and all those things you need to do in order to consume it in OData. Here, just by using an annotation @OData publish equal to true, service gets created. You just need to maintain that service manually, but there is no code then involved. And then that can be used directly. Also, you can create an entire app from template using this CDS view only based on annotation. So there will be no single line of code needed. So that we will all explore in the later part. Also, this CDS view you can directly consume in your IDA. So what will happen is that you will, there would be very less amount of code needed for reporting purpose if you use this IDA, integrated data access.
Okay,
correct?
Then as I understand, then the purpose is to get less code and probably faster select.
Yes. So what happens? Yeah. So what happens that based on your requirement, suppose that you are writing a report, right? So you can do it with OpenSQL. There is no need for this particular CDS view. Correct? If your work is going well with OpenSQL, first you go with that. If it is not happening, then you go to CDS view. And if by CDS view also if you are not getting your work done, then you will go to AMDP, ABAP Managed Database Procedures. Okay?
Okay, more or less.
And, one question, simple, like you showed DDL dependency. So in DDL dependency, we have like two objects that are being created. So the view name which was there, can we check in S11 view, or will it be stored in somewhere else?
See, which view you are talking about?
Can you open the DDL dependency table?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, tell me. Okay.
Yeah, this is the view. ZSY SQL Dem1 is the object.
This is the view name. This is the view name. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you go to S11, go to projection view? Does it get created?
So if I just write this SQL view name, see, it got created. This is the view. DDL SQL view. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So let us move ahead. Okay. So now CDS has, there are certain tools CDS related
regarding Eclipse.
If it is based on installation, we will look afterwards.
No, nothing to do with that.
Okay.
If you go on, so there's a button called collapse over there, right? On the left side, on top of the project name, there's a button called collapse. Go down a bit.
Yeah.
Once you press that, then how do you expand everything in one go after that? If once you press this one, right?
No, then in one go you cannot again this thing.
So if you suppose my Eclipse crashed and everything.
No, but see, you opened so many things. Basically, suppose you are working on multiple projects simultaneously, and you have opened many things. Okay, so it becomes very difficult. To again navigate to and fro. So in that case, you want that instead of closing this one by one, at one go itself I need to collapse all. So for that, this functionality is there.
Correct, but to open it again, you can't do it. You have to do it individually.
Yeah, then individually, correct. There is no way again you can do that. Okay. So now coming to back, this. So basically, SAP has provided a lot of CDS related tools. Okay, these tools are very helpful when you are creating and analyzing a CDS view. We have created a very simple view, but what happens is that in case when you will later create a complex CDS view, these tools will be very helpful. So the first one is navigation from SQL view to DDL source. Okay, so there was one question which was asked by some person. Suppose I close it. Now I have these particular views and I don't know for which SQL view what is the corresponding CDS view. So what I will do is that just right click on the SQL view, click on open with and click here definition. So it will open the CDS view corresponding to that. Okay, this is very useful tool in order to navigate from my SQL view to my data definition or the actual CDS view. Okay, now the second tool which is available is active annotations.
I have one question here.
Yeah, tell me.
This is the part which you have shown me, like from dictionary. I will right click on that. I can go to and I will get the CDS view name. From SE11, if I have a view name, I mean you have told about the table DDL dependency. We can find out the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from that, there is anything where we can find out the linkage between these two?
So see, if you want to navigate directly, this is the option. If you want to go from table level, there is an option. But if you just click on the this CDS view name, okay, so directly here you will get the SQL view name. So there is no need for any other navigation. So I would directly get this, right? SQL view name, right?
Because everything is combined in a package.
Exactly.
Okay.
Got it?
Can you just show me once more that navigation from SQL view to CDS view?
Yeah, sure, I will do that. So just right click here and open with and click on this definition. So when you click on this definition, it will show me this data definition. So CDS view. Okay. Now coming to active annotations view. So just select your CDS view, open with, and here there is one active annotation. So just click on this particular active annotation. So there will be a tab
grayed out on my screen.
No, you select this view, right click on
grayed out.
This.
Yeah, grayed out. The other one you said from SQL view, right? When I SQL view, I go right click. The open with is grayed out.
It shouldn't be. We'll see, but generally this is the way.
Can anybody else do it?
Yeah, I'm able to do it.
Grayed out for me as well.
Okay.
I'm able to do it.
Grayed out. Open with is grayed out.
No, I'm able to do it.
Okay, then I don't know.
I think I'm able to do it, like view, open with, and definition.
Okay. So when we clicked on the active annotations, a tab got added. So what does this active annotation do is, can you see below, it will show us all the annotations at view level, at element level, right? For example, here we had used the annotation against the carrier ID, which was this carrier ID, and quick info as this is carrier ID field, and it will give me the data source also. So now for a particular field, if there is no annotations which we have written, like in case of care name, we didn't mention anything, right? Any annotation. So for that, it will show us the original data source and original data element. So in this case, the original data source is SCRR and the original data element is care name.
How do you go here?
Yeah, I'll show you again. So what happens? You just click. You click on this DDL source name. You right click it. You go with open with, and here there is an option of active annotations. So just click on that, and a tab will be added here. Okay. Now the third one is graphical editor. So this basically gives you a graphical representation of a CDS view. Again, go to your DDL source. Again, you open with, and there is this option of graphical editor. Just click on this graphical editor. So if you see, can you see this? So now basically it shows a graphical representation. This is my CDS view name. If you click on this, these all annotations are my entity level annotations that are applicable throughout for entire CDS view. And here these are my annotations at element level which are applicable to that element. Also, if I had used where clause, group by, or having clause, it would have shown here. From here also you can navigate. You just click on code preview, it will open up your actual CDS view. So this is very useful tool also you will get to know that okay, I am using this SCRR table, these fields from SCRR table I am using in my element list in my CDS view. So now imagine if you are using 4 or 5 tables, you are using joins. So in that case, basically this will be very helpful. It will give you a proper graphical representation of how exactly that CDS view is behaving.
I have one question here.
Yeah.
If suppose I haven't opened the Eclipse and I am in S11, I am open the data DDL dependency table.
The voice was breaking.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I haven't opened the Eclipse and I am in SE11 and I have opened the DDL dependency table. Now I have got the CDS view name. Okay.
Okay.
And I want to search for that because I don't at that time I don't have the package so that I can look for that in the at the Eclipse level. So how I can find out over here? I mean, this is the CDS view name and I need to find out all the details of that. So how we can do that?
See, at the beginning only I told you that it is not available to view CDS view in my SAP GUI or Workbench. It can only be created and displayed and viewed from my Eclipse only.
Got it. From SE11, I have got the CDS view
I
name.
can
and I
answer
want to search
from SE11.
I want to search.
If in SE11, if you go to the attributes and if you look at the package, then you know where the SQL view is created, and then you come to Eclipse, add the package in
it is showing there.
and then from there you navigate.
See, there is no need for package also. If you know the CDS view name now, just come to Eclipse, do Ctrl-Shift-A, and just type the CDS view name. Irrespective of the package it will show you that CDS view name.
That answer my question. Yeah.
So DDL source is same as a CDS view.
Both the things are different. The names are same. Okay. DDL source is a repository which holds the definition of your CDS view, and CDS view name is your actual CDS view. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now coming to the fourth one, which is known as dependency analyzer.
Sorry, do we know the reason why some of us are getting
the voice is actually breaking a lot. Could you please show the last relationship?
Yeah. Sorry, can you come again?
So, do we know why some of us are getting that open with grayed out? Do we know the reason?
We'll have to check it out. So maybe, I mean, after this call.
Can we finish the first?
Yeah, exactly.
I think let's please go through quickly the whatever remaining part, and then at the end let's take questions.
True.
We already crossed 2 hours now.
Yeah. So it's better now. If you have any questions, just note it down, and maybe at the end we will handle it all. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that, please.
Please. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Okay. So now coming to this fifth one, that is the dependency analyzer. Again, you click here, you open with, and here is an option of dependency dinner. Is it breaking for everyone? Hello? Am I audible to?
Not breaking.
Fine. You're clear.
Fine.
You're very
okay. Okay.
Fine now, no problem.
Okay, fine.
No problem.
So just open with here, go to open with and click on this dependency analyzer. Okay, so here it will show you the hierarchy of entire CDS view. That is, it is this dependency tree. So for example, you are fetching, you are creating a CDS view on top of a CDS view. So it will give you all the details in this tree format here. Okay, then we have this SQL dependency graph. If you click here, so see, it gives you a graphical representation that is, okay, this CDS view is built on top of this particular table. It will give you in a again in a graphical format.
How did you get this SQL dependency graph?
See here there are 2 tabs. First one and the second one. These 2. This is SQL dependency tree and this is SQL dependency graph. Okay. So now we created this this thing. So now there is an option to view the data. So if you directly click on F8, you will see the data. Can you see this data? So what we have done, there is no need to go to OpenSQL, write a select query in order to get the data. Just do F8 and you will get the data. There is one more way of getting the data preview. Just right click here, open with, and select this data preview. So this is, it will again bring you to this particular screen. Now you have very good options available here. For example, you can set the maximum rows. By default it is 100. Let me set it to 50. If I click and let's say 5, if I click, it will show me the top 5 entries. Okay. So if I want to check how many rows or how many entries have been retrieved, I need to click on number of entries and it will show, okay, 18 number of entries have been retrieved. If I need to add a filter on a particular element, I can do that also. Select char ID and do AA and press enter. It will filter out. Okay. Now at the end of the, basically,
is this the analyzer view?
No. This is data preview. Can please someone mute? Yeah. So this is basically my data preview part, wherein I can exactly check the number of entries and the data retrieved from my CDS view.
And I can reduce the maximum number of entries and the maximum rows, no?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
Now if you click on the SQL console, so what happens is, see, when you are trying to retrieve, basically at the back end there is a select query. Okay, so if I click on the SQL console, so you see this SQL query was generated, right? So it will give you the exact SQL query which got generated for this particular CDS view. Notice one more thing, that select from this basically is your CDS view name and not your SQL view name. Okay, this is your CDS view name from where it fetched the data.
Preview again.
See, this is just a select query which got generated at the back end when we pressed F8 on this CDS view.
Oh,
okay,
so
now,
when you execute it, then it gives you the data preview option.
Yes, correct. Data preview option is itself meant for viewing the data. Okay.
So what about the labels which we have added? So I can't see the label, right?
Label are only semantic information, I told you, right? So if someone comes to this particular screen, then he will be able to see these labels, right? If you want from OpenSQL, I will show you there are certain classes. Here, right now, what we are doing is just pressing, F8 for data preview. That's it.
Once I click on SQL console, I got the select query. Now, if I again want to just hide this tab, then
just close this tab, no? Just close it.
Okay.
It will again bring you back. So now, if I click on SQL console, the beauty of this console is here itself you can write your query. Suppose I want to write where clause where char ID equal to AA, and I just execute it. Sorry, it will not give me data. See, AA0. If I do it AA and again run it, it will give me data corresponding to AA. So that means that here at runtime also I can manipulate my select query based on my requirement to check the result set. Okay. So this is a good feature.
But it will be applicable at the CDS view level, where we have defined the definition. It is only for the runtime, right?
Yeah, it is at the runtime. Yeah, this is just at runtime and for checking. It will not change your original CDS view. It will not change. That you are just kind of a debugging level. Change. Yeah. Okay. So, is this fine, guys?
Time to add any where clause, we just need to specify only the field name, not the alias name and all, no?
No, that alias now we will be covering, but we are
select CDS view name, then
direct char ID. Direct char ID.
Okay,
you can use direct char ID.
There's one question. There's one more question question. Is there any chance that once you create the data definition, the dictionary view, the SQL view does not show up? Is there any chance like that? I mean, because
you need to just refresh it. You just refresh this. Sometimes what happens that it is not reflected here, but by any chance it is not at all possible that the DDL part is not created. Sorry, the dictionary part is not created.
It's only a refresh problem. I think it's okay. Fine.
Yeah, it's a refresh problem. If you refresh it now, I think it should work.
Okay, right.
Just a quick question over here.
How much is left?
Guys, let's complete this section so that it will be easy for others to move on.
True. Because we have already exceeded the time also. So better we'll keep questions later so that those who are clear can basically leave. Okay. So if this part is clear, then let's move on to another part. Okay, that is, we will now create a CDS view with inner join. So guys, you want to try it out for yourself, or you want me to try it? So if
just show us once.
Okay, fine. Okay. So again, I will go to
one more quick question here. You said in CDS views, we don't joins are not necessary. We're going to replace it in the introduction session. I mean, so what? I mean, is it anything related to that, or why we are again?
No. We see if we want to use 2 or 3 tables, we will have to use joins. But joins are replaced by associations, or can be replaced by associations. But associations are also at database level joins only. Okay.
Okay. I mean, so you mean to say we'll come to that point?
So
why do we talk about joins and then replace it with associations? I mean, so
because
that's the question.
So the question so when we will cover that associations then you will become more clear.
Okay.
So what happens is that when you do a join what happens is that the relationship between these two tables is somewhere hidden out by these trivial joins. So when you use associations, it becomes visible. Okay, these two tables are joined by, cardinality and all those things, So that relation basically becomes visible with associations. Also, there is a concept of exposed associations, which we will explore in detail later. Okay. So we will again create one more CDS view. Now this time join. So let me CDS view. Okay, so here you have an option to define view with join. This is the template. Define view with join. You just select that and click on finish.
By the way, this template doesn't come for me. Like, how does this template comes?
It comes automatically. It comes automatically.
You need to should not say finish when you say creating a definition. You should go next and then.
Correct.
Yeah.
And even if you missed it now at the time of creation, can you see this tab templates?
Yeah. Here I can do it.
So here you can view it. So just double click on this, define whatever template you want, and it will come.
Okay.
So let me first give this name as sy_SQL_temp2. I have given. Now I will be doing a inner join basically. So from, let's say, and I would be joining. Let's do inner join. Inner join. And based on my
ready. Yeah.
And then let me use field. See guys, I have created a join using inner join. So I am using these two tables on this char ID and I am fetching these fields. Okay. So similar to your OpenSQL, if a particular field is available in both the tables, then it is mandatory to use the source table. So what is the syntax? Source table dot your field name. And if a particular field is available in only one table, then it is not mandatory to use the source table. You can directly use that. Okay. Now coming to aliases, you can also create aliases in the same way which we used to do in our OpenSQL. So I have created an alias. So there are two types of aliases. One is table alias. This is my table alias. Okay, and these are my field level aliases. Just a minute, I'll show you. So if I do as career, so this becomes my element level alias, correct? And this becomes my table level alias. So let me do okay. Yeah, perfect.
So
okay.
It's got nothing to do with the label. Does the career, the field level alias becomes a label to that one? No.
No, nothing to. It is just a alias. But the SQL view which will get created, it will have this carrier as a name. Let me show you. So we created this dem2. Okay. Activated.
So the fields which will be there only in one table, you do not need to make any alias for that.
I mean not needed. Not needed.
I will tell you an example. I will tell you an example why we need that element. I mean, when that element is used. Okay, when we are, let's say we have an EKPO table and there is a field MENG, and EKBE table and there is also MENG.
Correct.
So we are having two tables with same field name. So at that point in time, we can use this element.
Exactly.
Okay.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
A very good example. Yeah. Okay. So
if some people know more, so they are just like try to put in more stuff. Can you just like you can explain, then we can continue on that topic? Because we don't know if we have missed something or if we try to catch up on something.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I feel like we're just like skipping from one point to another point.
True. Okay, so if you see, I had made this alias as carrier, and if you see this, it got created the SQL view with the field name as carrier. That is an alias name. So this was just an example to use what do we say, aliases also. Okay. So I think till this point of time, if we are good, maybe I will cover the annotation that is preserve key tomorrow, because we have already exceeded 20 minutes. So maybe tomorrow I will cover up that key definition part in detail. It has to do with this particular annotation @abap catalog dot preserve key equal to true. So I think we are good for today. Now I have one question for each and every one of you. You can take this as an assignment, and maybe tomorrow if anyone gets an answer, then maybe he can share. So since the question is, I have the SQL view name, I have the CDS view name. Okay. Now when I use OpenSQL, that is from a program, select *from. So from I can use this particular thing also, and I can use this particular thing also. As of now, from 7.5, SAP has made using SQL view in select query as an obsolete, and has recommended to only use the view name, CDS view name, in the select query if you want to fetch the data from a CDS view from OpenSQL. So the question is, I want why SAP has recommended to use this CDS view name instead of the SQL view name. What is the reason? Why can't I use this thing? Any particular reason? So this is the assignment for every one of you. If you can get an answer, maybe tomorrow we will have it. Okay.
Annotations and aliases.
And one more doubt. regarding this annotations at the rate ABAP catalog compiler, preserve key, authorization check. Can you discuss it tomorrow? Like what?
See, we already we have everything in our agenda in this 5-day training, and I will cover each and everything in detail. You don't worry at all. Okay? We each and every catalog has its purpose. Yeah. Tell me. Annotate.
Are you going to share the recording? Can someone mute this?
Can please someone mute? So I will share you the document for the CDS related tools. I will share you the recording also.
Right
and
away
if you want,
after the meeting.
Yeah. And if you want, I can share this particular Word document also with you.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So I think we are good for today. And the key definition only was, I will take it up tomorrow first thing in the morning. And there will be an assignment which will be shared with every one of you. So if you have time, just do it, just go through it whenever you have time till tomorrow. Tomorrow at the same time we will be meeting. We will be doing a quick recap of what we did today, and we will move ahead. And what my suggestion would be to basically hold your questions till one topic is over, because what happens is that a flow is sometimes missed. Also, we deviate from the topic. So after every topic, I will have some time. We will keep some time, 5 to 10 minutes, to discuss all the queries related to that particular topic which we have covered. But if you have any questions, please write it down and keep it to yourself. Okay? Because what happens that unnecessary a flow is also broken, and it becomes sometimes trouble for other folks also. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to add one thing here. As you mentioned that you're going to share the recording with us after every meeting, I have observed that few people are trying to follow your steps. So they have been asking you the kind of steps that what they are missing, and when you try to answer them, I observed especially we have lost at least half an hour time responding to such questions instead of the concept.
Correct. So what we can do is that please don't do simultaneously with me. What I would suggest that first concentrate on the concept which we are basically dealing with, and once the session is over, you will have ample amount of time. You will have the recordings. You will have ample amount of time to create your own and do hands-on. That is also fine. And if you are doing simultaneously and if you are lost, then it would be better to keep that question with yourself. And once the topic is over, then maybe we can discuss it within 5 or 10 minutes, not more than that. Okay?
And one question, like to add scripts and the editing, can you please help us so that will be helpful for us?
Yeah, sure. Not an issue. Okay.
Because after this class, we try to practice something.
Yeah. Okay. So now, guys, for today's session, everything was, I hope, clear to everyone.
Yeah.
If still you have doubt, maybe we can discuss it. Okay.
Actually, I joined late. I just wanted to know your name.
Hello. Hello. It's Guru.
Yeah. Thank you, Guru.
Thank you, Guru.
Yeah, Guru. Just a question over here.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, so since you said that the ABAP CDS are, they are created at application layer, so the in-memory advantage that we have with the HANA database, that is not available with the ABAP CDS, right?
No. See, what happens is that basically all the database holds your actual logic, actual data. So anyway, when you are writing a program also of 1,000 lines or 2,000 lines, where does it reside basically? Everything happens at your application at runtime, but the actual data resides at your database. So what was the bottleneck or the trouble was the performance issues, because from database it was taking lot of time. So once the data was sent to application layer, then at application layer it was processed with all the calculations, and then it was sent to the presentation server. Now what we have done, that at the database level itself we will do all the calculations, and then only the calculated values and fields we would be bringing to the application layer. So that's why what will happen is that our processing will become very fast.
So that is valid for both ABAP CDS and HANA CDS, right?
Exactly, yes. HANA CDS directly resides at HANA database. So everything happens at database level itself. You create a database, you execute a database, everything happens at database.
Okay.
I think most of the thing is row based databases, and HANA is a column based, right? So
it is column based, but it depends. I mean, it has option for both row based and column based. So depending on the requirement, you select row or column. But by default, now it is column based only. Yes, correct.
Yeah, now it's more like a code push down rather than we are
exactly.
So most of the it's the nested selects that are being used, which were not used in OpenSQL. So. Yeah, that's the thing. And please, Guru, please help us in using the Eclipse and ADT because we are not much familiar with it.
Sure. But till now, whatever we explained, are you able to grasp it? Are you comfortable with that?
Guru, just one question, Guru, please.
Yeah.
I see that everything is in the folder of core data services. So when someone says that they know core data services, they mean that they know CDS views only, or core data services have more than that?
Good question. Core data services, as I told you, has two parts. So first one is your views, which is known as core data services CDS views, and the second part is your CDS table functions, right? So both these parts come under your core data services. Now coming to core data services views, we have two parts. First one is your HANA CDS views, and the second one is your ABAP CDS views. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Guru, Guru, I see that there are many tables are missing in this server.
See, this is only for training purpose. This is a demo server meant for training purpose. So we will be using only those tables which will have data. I mean.
Yeah. Could you please list out or give me some, some tables so that I can play with
all the tables starting with S, SPARR, SPFLI, SBook, SFlight, all these tables you can use.
Okay. Otherwise, Guru, we can create our own tables and use that, right?
You create your own table,
So, Guru, I'm getting
we all are ABAPers. I mean, so that's not an issue for us.
Guru, I'm getting an error on this. Not created.
The enterprise tables. SAP creates some enterprise tables. They start with SMWD.
Yes.
They have like POs, sales orders, deliveries, and those tables have a lot of data in there, so you can use them.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Robert. Yeah.
No problem.
And one thing, Guru, this is ABAP on HANA. This is the stack lies on ABAP server. So, if you are using to connect to on-premise or this
cloud.
Cloud?
We will look into it. So what happens? That's why we have done all the connections. That is, we first registered to SAP Cloud Platform. Then we installed Cloud Connector. Then we configured Cloud Connector. And then we created destination. All these are part to connect our backend server to cloud platform.
Yeah, that's true, Guru. I mean, with these connections and everything, a little complex on my part.
See, what I will do that before starting of the session, when we would require this thing, I will once again go with everything, all the steps. Okay.
Okay. So it's like any document. Yeah, if any document is available.
Already we have shared. Document already we have shared, right? We have already shared the document with all the details.
Okay. Sorry. I mean, most of my mails are going to spam, so I didn't check it. So I'll just check it again.
And assignment has been sent to all of you. So please check your mails. So assignment will be there, and try to do it if you have time.
Sure. Thanks, Guru. Guru, for any questions, how to drop in? Can I drop in a mail or do?
In the same email, that is mail@sapyard.com @gmail.com. Same you can drop a mail if you have any queries, or maybe after the session you can drop it in the chat window and we will get back to you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Guru.